Sister Wives Christine Brown says Kody and David meeting was stressful. In the new episode of Sister Wives, worlds will collide when Christine Brown introduces her new boyfriend to her ex-husband. Understandably, she felt incredibly nervous about introducing David Woolley and Kody Brown. While fans eagerly await Sunday night's new episode, Christine is offering teasers in a new interview. Was David and Kody's first meeting as tense as fans anticipated? Christine Brown teases possible drama for the new Sister Wives episode. Sister Wives fans found a clip of the upcoming episode revealing Kody Brown and David Woolley will meet at a family function. Right off the bat, Kody seems defensive and balks when Mykelti mentions that David babysat her children. It's certainly an uncomfortable encounter, but fans won't truly know how it went until the episode airs. Christine Brown Woolley isn't allowed to share specific spoilers, but she did hint there might be drama afoot. You'll see if there's shots fired, you'll see if there's punches thrown, the TLC star hinted in a new interview with Entertainment Tonight. We're gonna have to wait and see. I'm me and I just be me, and if people don't like it, then I don't know what to do, David shrugged. Overall, he seemed pretty unbothered about encountering Kody. And Christine admitted that's what she liked best about him. He makes everything just simple and uncomplicated. That's the vision. He doesn't worry about things or stress about things, Christine said of her now husband. He's really supportive. The TLC star found her happily ever after. Once a fierce defender of polygamy, Christine Brown Woolley has happily left the practice behind. Now, she's focusing all her time and energy on her monogamous relationship with David. I'm more independent and confident than I ever was before being married. I don't even understand it. It's so weird, Christine continued. When you find your person, you actually fulfill my life and you complete me, all that ridiculous stuff. I'm like, that's dumb. No, it's a real thing. It's amazing. In other interviews, she shared that David helps keep her grounded when Kody's cruel confessional get under her skin while they watch Sister Wives. I get frustrated and hurt, Christine told Us Weekly recently. I just talked to David about it because I would never do the things Kody accuses me of doing. Christine Brown had always prided herself on being someone who could handle just about anything life threw her way. But when she looked back on the day Kody and David finally met, she couldn't shake the feeling of stress that had lingered long after the awkward encounter. The story of that fateful meeting began on a crisp autumn morning, the air filled with the promise of change. Christine had been living in Salt Lake City with her fiancé, David Woolley, for several months now. Things had been moving forward at a steady pace between them. The two were happy, blending their lives together in a way that felt natural. David was kind, supportive, and he understood Christine in a way no one else ever had. It was everything she had hoped for after leaving the tumultuous relationship with Kody. But that didn't mean it was easy. Christine knew that her relationship with Kody would always be a touchy subject, especially when it came to their children. The thought of having David and Kody in the same room made her stomach tighten. David and Kody came from two completely different worlds, and Christine was anxious about how they would get along. The tension had been building for days before the meeting. Christine could sense Kody's discomfort from the moment she mentioned it. He had never really understood her relationship with David, and he wasn't exactly thrilled at the idea of David being around their kids either. Robin had been supportive, offering words of encouragement, but Kody, he was skeptical at best. Are you sure about this, Christine? Kody had asked one evening, his voice unusually low. I mean, you've only been with David for a little while now. What's the rush? Christine had felt her patience wearing thin. I've known David long enough to know he's the one, Kody. This isn't about rushing. It's about building a future I'm excited about, something I never had with you. Kody's face darkened at her words, and the conversation ended there, the air thick with unspoken resentment. The day of the meeting finally arrived, and Christine found herself pacing the floor in her living room, her palms slick with nervous sweat. David had been nothing but understanding, reassuring her that everything would be fine. He wasn't interested in starting a conflict with Kody, he just wanted to meet him and get to know the father of Christine's children, even if the situation was complicated. I've been through worse, David joked, trying to ease the tension, but Christine wasn't laughing. They drove to Kody's house together, the silence between them thick and uncomfortable. As they arrived, Kody was already outside, waiting by the door. His posture was stiff, and his eyes narrowed as he saw David's truck pull into the driveway. He greeted them with a forced smile, his handshake with David feeling like a mere formality. The conversation started off awkwardly. "Nice to meet you, David," Kody said, his tone flat. David nodded, extending his hand. "Nice to meet you too. I'm really happy to be part of the kids' lives." Cristin could feel the tension between them immediately. Kody wasn't one to mask his feelings, and he certainly wasn't hiding the fact that he wasn't comfortable. His eyes kept darting between David and Cristin, clearly unsettled by how easily the two of them interacted with each other. Cristin caught a glimpse of Robin, who had appeared on the porch just as the conversation was beginning to take a turn. Robin tried to offer a smile, but even she seemed uncomfortable in the moment. It didn't take long before the conversation turned to the kids. "So, how do you plan on integrating into the kids' lives, David?" Kody asked, his voice sharper than Cristin would have liked. David, to his credit, remained calm, answering the question with a measured tone. "I'm not trying to take anyone's place, Kody. I just want to be there for them, you know. I love Cristin, and I love that she has such a strong relationship with her kids. I want to support that however I can." Kody didn't seem convinced. "I don't know," he muttered, crossing his arms. "It's going to be weird, you know, having you around." Cristin's heart sank as she felt the familiar sting of rejection, the same way she had felt years ago when she had tried to get Kody to understand her choices. David wasn't asking for anything other than a chance to prove he cared, but Kody was already digging in his heels. The meeting stretched on for what felt like an eternity. They talked about logistics, how David would be involved in the kids' lives, when they could all meet up again, and how things would work when the kids visited. But the tension never fully dissipated. Cristin could see the cracks in Kody's facade, his discomfort at the idea of someone else taking an active role in his children's lives too evident to ignore. She had hoped that time had softened him, that he would be more understanding. But instead, it was clear that the cracks between them hadn't healed, and meeting David only deepened those divisions. As the meeting came to an end, Kody's goodbye was curt. He offered a forced handshake to David and a quick kiss on the cheek to Cristin, before retreating inside his house without another word. Cristin felt a weight settle in her chest. It wasn't just the stress of dealing with Kody's reluctance, it was the realization that no matter what she did, she couldn't change the past. The history she had with Kody would always be a part of her, but it wasn't something she could rebuild. She had moved on, but Kody hadn't, and that made everything harder. David put his arm around her as they walked back to the car. "Hey, I know that wasn't easy, but I think it went as well as we could have hoped for." "Right." Cristin smiled weakly. "Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. It's hard, David. I thought this would be easier." "I know," he said softly. "But you're doing great. You're strong, Cristin, and no matter what happens with Kody, we have each other. That's what matters now." Cristin felt her heart lift slightly at his words. She had found something with David that she hadn't thought was possible. Peace. Kody might still be a constant source of stress in her life, but she no longer needed his approval to move forward. As they drove home, Cristin couldn't help but feel a sense of finality wash over her. The meeting had been stressful, yes, but it was also a turning point. She had faced the last of her old life with Kody, and now she could turn the page completely. For the first time in years, Cristin was ready to embrace the future, and she wasn't going to let Kody's lingering doubts hold her back.